I think I have enough fun playing Mavuika on day 1 of 2025. Let's make a guide video about her. And I have a lot of explanation to do, so let's get started. Mavuika is a Pyro Archon, using Claymore as her weapon of choice. She is very burst dependent, but you don't need energy recharge for it. More on that in a minute. Normal attack has some unique animation, sadly we won't see that very often, because her skill is a Night Soul Blessing States, and has two modes, depends on if she is on field or off field. Off field first because it is easier to explain, doing coordinated attack to bunch of enemies, 3 or 4 enemies I think. Well, I'm not sure how long it lasts, but it has 15 seconds cooldown and 2 seconds interval. But there is more. You can tap E again or just hold to begin with. Mavuika will ride her Flame Strider, riding through enemies will deal some damage. Her normal attack, charge attack, and plunging attack change to Flame Strider 1, dealing pyro damage and cannot be overridden. And there are some other applications. Mavuika can fly, climb, and surf, but not grapple, which is weird considering she has come from Science of Canopy. But she cannot fly or climb or surf as much as the tribe heroes, so don't expect much. Speaking of exploration, she can also reduce the Night Soul transmission cooldown by 20%. You know, the exploration thing where you can swap to Natlan character while in the Natlan to get some of their exploration ability going. You get my point. Let's go next. Burst is not reliant on energy, but instead on fighting spirit. And how to get the fighting spirit, you may ask? There are two ways. First, a party member consume Night Soul points with 1-to-1 ratio, and second, if a party member hit enemy with normal attack with 1 hit per 0.1 second to 1.5 fighting spirit ratio. She can use her burst at half full like fighting spirit, but actually using it on full fighting spirit has huge advantage. That is because it will increase on-field character damage by up to 40% bonus at the full fighting spirit, lasts for 20 seconds for this buff, and decays until 0 at the end of duration. But for the burst itself, also buffing Mavuika's burst damage, normal, and charge attack by a percentage of her attack per fighting spirit consumed, and also her resistance of interruption increase while on 7-second duration, 18-second cooldown, and instantly put Mavuika on Flame Strider even if you didn't hit the E button. What a long explanation, but we are not finished yet. There is one last passive remain unexplained, that is increase Mavuika's attack by 30% for 10 seconds every time a party member triggers Night Soul Burst. You know, the white radiance thing on the screen? Yes, it is now done. And we're gonna talk about her gameplay. She can be used as an on-field unit or off-field unit, but if you want to use all of her kit, after I explain you that long, it is advised to play on-field Mavuika. And how to play on-field Mavuika? It is pretty similar to Alrelekino and Hutao. Tap E, then swap to Cinder City Holder and other buffs, then swap back to Mavuika and start her burst. Probably the enemies are already dead by now, but if they didn't, do normal attack or charge attack. Depends on how much the enemy available. Single target scenario will have normal attack, while her charge attack can hit multiple targets on a huge AoE. Why I explain things too long by now, and we don't even talking about the off-field variants. And from here there are also two gameplays. One is the standard one, just like Xiangling, going all crit, just need to tap E to burst and do the rest rotation. Or Virgin, yes, she can be played as Virgin Trigger, but it will sacrifice most of her kit. This kind of gameplay hasn't been tested yet, so watch out if you find someone playing Mavuika Green. We have no choice, and I assure you this part is simple. Signature 1000 Blazing Suns, highest best attack with a little crits, has tons of other stats like attack and crit, and if you are on Night Soul Burst, you can have up to 35% attack and 49% damage bonus on Refinement 1. Insane weapon, and very universal too, so you can have it even if you don't have Mavuika. Second best is Verdict, but only if you play her with Geo unit, or if you always pairs her with Silanen. Then you can have Wolf Gravestone with tons of attack and Red Horn with charge attack buff. Beacons can also be, but you can go overcrit with it, so be careful. And the 4-star, we have only 2 good candidates. Earthshaker, the craftable one, skill damage buff, very good. And Melt Flower, the even weapon. It got some elemental mastery, so pretty nice for Melt team. And the artifact option, and this is the easiest part, Obsidian Codex. And we come to the next section. Just kidding, let me explain a bit. 15% all damage bonus with 40% crit rate is really insane. We don't have another candidate for on-field Mavuika, but if you insist to play green Mavuika, go with the Flower of Paradise Lost for that virgin damage, or for general off-field, Golden Troop and Cinder City if nobody holds that set, which is weird because Mavuika needs another Natlan character to fill her burst. For the stats, attack sense, pyro damage goblet, and crit damage circlet. Very basics, just make sure you don't overcrit. And for you who play virgin, full EM is all the way. Substat for Mavuika, crit rate and damage to match your crit ratio desire, usually at 40% to 60% crit rate, and 180 to 220 for crit damage, because her Ascension passive is crit damage. And next priority is attack and EM for Melt. And least priority means this stat is useless for Mavuika is energy recharge. Because Mavuika burst is not reliant on energy recharge cannot boost that fighting spirit any faster. If you get Obsidian Codex with energy recharge, give it to Kinich. Constellation time, and you won't be happy with my voice at this point. Constellation 1, 50% more maximum Nightsoul points, so you have E duration even more for coordinated attacks, exploration, or infused attack from skill. Then there are also 25% fighting spirit recharge rate, and then 40% attack after gaining fighting spirit. That's Constellation 1. Constellation 2, and this is a rare stat, increases her base attack by 200. Base attack is inherited or from weapon, calculated before any percentage, so this is insane. And also off-field E has 20% depth shred for pyro, and on-field 1 has increased base damage on her attack. Constellation 3 burst level increase. Constellation 4 the on-field damage buff from burst with 40% multiplier, remember, now is 50% and doesn't decay. Constellation 5 skill level up. And lastly Constellation 6 off-field E can also summon a charging flame strider, and off-field E can also summon the coordinated attack. And the last effect is exploration to make sure you will gain more duration on flame strider. Phew, what a wall of text, but we have to continue with the question, Constellation or the weapon? My definite answer for this is weapon. Only if you're playing her with Natlan character, it is a huge jump on damage potential, considering the competitors are not that good, and go for C1 only if you like to explore and doing less Natlan character with her. Or go for C2 with 200 base attack is actually an insane jump for the damage potential, but actually you want another Natlan character, right? So why not pull on Citlali? They are currently on the same pace, and on the same banner you have a chance to get Kachina. So yeah, my priority is actually Citlali first, then her weapon. Because of how Citlali can buff the melt damage, it is very valuable. And also, Citlali and Mavuika share the same weapon banner, so if you fail to get one, you can get the other weapon, and it is a win-win solution actually. So I advise you to roll the weapon if you really like both of them. Team examples. I don't want to do synergy as usual, this video took too long to make and we still have 3 characters left on this patch, so here we go. Melt Mavuika, one of the best, Mavuika, Citlali, Silonen, and Bennett, currently the highest potential, and you can swap Citlali with Rosaria or Kia. Damn it, we don't have that many off-field cryo. Then Silonen can be swapped for Kazuha to buff, and Bennett, they're just another Pyro Archon chilling. And you can change Citlali with Hydra unit to make Vaporize team. It will be not as strong as Melt because of the forward reaction advantage, 2 multiplier on Melt versus 1.5 multiplier on Vape. And then we have Zephyrus Overload with Mavuika, Zephyrus, Kuki, Shinobu, and Bennett. Then for the off-field Mavuika, we can substitute what Xiangling does all this time. And for the Virgin team, and with Ayato or Alhaitham as the driver, Nahida to do off-field Dendro, and Hydra Applicator anyone can do. But one thing to note, her burst is very good, source of damage boost, just like Furina, so make sure you have Natlan on it on team, or play with normal tech heavy unit like Ayato and Yoimiya. Or just get the Natlan unit, okay? They are broken with Mavuika. But if you have none of the Natlan unit, Pyro Trevor can also recharge her burst, more on that on another video. But since Nightsoul points generation is so fast, having Natlan unit is more preferable. For example, a whole Silonen rotation can recharge her burst to full 200 fighting spirit. If that is not broken, I don't know what it is.
Rise with the sun! Rev the end! Get to work! Bring it! I'm going in! You two! Tight light of the blazing sun! Incinerate! Try and stop me! Fulfill our pact! Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Grab from the sky! Incinerate! Full throttle! Bring it! Get to work! Eat Lalin! Eat Papa! Light of the blazing sun! Fulfill our pact! You two! Time to everybody stand back! Pyroclastic surge!
And this is the end of the script. Overall, she is on a very weird position. We know Natlan will never fight alone, but for Mavuika, having her own people can also means her damage potential is higher. She is a good or even a better unit than currently Pyro on-field unit that is Hu Tao and Arlek, you know. I have Mavuika with Wolf Gravestone, reach 500k damage on Imaginarium Theater. So I think her damage potential is better than those two on-field unit. That is very controversial, but I have to end this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.